Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Lions on the Prowl presents Lunchtime with Detroit Lions Talk on the Belly Up Sports Network. Oh, man, it's been so much fun with those guys. Holy cow. You need to check them out on their website at bellyupsports.com. But today we're talking about the hiring of Aaron Glenn as the defensive coordinator. We had said pump the brakes, but guess what? You don't have to any longer because he is our defensive coordinator. We'll give you our thoughts on that. Dan the Dude Campbell's press conference, or Dan Campbell, his press conference. We're going to go over that. We got your comment cards. We got Detroit Lions news and rumors, and there's a lot of them today. So stay tuned for that. And stay tuned for the dessert with Kurt today. So we've got all of that. And speaking of Kurt, I'm going to bring my main man in right now.
What up, dude? Hey, welcome to the show, people. You know who we are. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. Join the family, subscribe to the channel, chat, comment on the videos, like the videos, share the videos, and join us weekdays, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our premieres of our show right here on our channel. And you can chat with us during the live premieres, and you can get your comments right up front with a super chat. And we really appreciate that. And like Jim said, go over to bellyupsports.com and check out the content. They got more podcasts, any type of podcast you really want to find over there. They got it. And they have some hard-hitting journalistic articles over there for you to check out about your favorite sports. So bellyup.com for all of your sports needs. Now let's get this thing started
right now.
Let's go. Welcome to the show, people. Welcome back. Hey, check us out. Look in the description for some good deals on Skull Candy headphones. So it helps you listen to our show better. I mean, it gets you some good quality audio, some good prices. Look at the link in the descriptions down below. They have some great deals on some quality audio headsets, headphones, and whatever your audio needs. Go over to skullcandy.com for all of your headphone or listening needs. And let's get into this, man. Aaron Glenn. All right, Jim, I know a couple of days ago we said pump your brakes. We did the because of the reports from Josina Anderson. But she did come back and say that she was wrong. Well, not say she was wrong, but that actually Aaron Glenn was going to be working for the Lions. She also said that, he contacted a couple of teams, one of them being the Chicago Bears, and said, nope, I'm going to Detroit. So let's look at Aaron Glenn. If you forgot in the last couple of days who he is, all right, he is a 48-year-old former NFL cornerback. So he played for various teams from 94 to 2010. He played for the Jets where he was drafted. His most notable stint was with the Houston Texans. He also played where he ended up coaching is with the New Orleans Saints. That was his last stop in the NFL. He was a personnel scout for the Jets in 2012 to 2013. He was a Browns assistant defensive back coach from 2014 to 2015, and he was the Saints defensive backs coach to 2016 to 2020. And now he is the Lions' new defensive coordinator. That is something that's pretty big. He was a hot name in the coaching market for as far as being on the upper coming. He's fiery, just like Dan Campbell. He's one of those guys that he's going to push his players. And I think one thing I like about him and where he should be helpful is that unlike Corey Unlin, he's a defensive back coach that played defensive back. The guy
at was a high level too.
Yeah, he was an all-pro. He was a Pro Bowler. I mean, This guy was a excellent cornerback in the NFL. So for all of that, I know he can help players like Jeff Okudah and Amani Oruwariye or any young guys that we have coming into the team where we're going to have a good, solid defensive coordinator that can help mold our defensive backfield. And trust me, that defensive backfield needs some help.
I think, honestly, this is a really good hire. But remember, there's two things that we can't do. So, Kurt, if I was to apply for this job, I would not get any of them, because you can't have anyone over 50 so far.
You know what? I'm borderline at 49. I'm right on the edge. So far,
everyone they've hired is younger than you.
Yep. Everybody's 40.
In Aaron Glenn, I really liked what you brought up. I will echo those sentiments. I think he's going to be really good. Unfortunately, we still have no experience whatsoever at any position except for 12 games by Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell. Hey,
Speaking of which,
man, we got to get into this, man.
This presser was the most amazing thing I've seen in my entire life. And I love some Jim Schwartz press conferences with this dude, God. Dan the Dude Campbell. The presser was amazing. Man. Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, just some quotes from this press conference where he's like, tell him the quotes there, Kurt, if you got them with you.
Okay, I got the one I got, and you have to excuse our French.
Yes, we don't usually swear on this channel.
We don't usually swear on this channel, but my man said, he can give you coach speech all day. He said, I can say these things, but you heard enough of that shit. So to paraphrase him, and Kyle Minke actually said it twice.
You said you started it.
Yeah, you said you started it. So but you look at the refreshing type of way that he carried himself. He was fired up, ready to go. I would say this: if without social distancing, if that wasn't there, man, people would have been chest bumping. I think he would probably have tackled somebody. The dude was, and
he's like, if we get knocked down, we're gonna get up and bite your kneecap.
Bite your kneecap.
And then it's gonna take 2 times to knock us down, and then we're gonna bite your other kneecap. And it's like, Dad, if you knock us down, it's going to take 3 times, and we're going to take another hunk out of you. And eventually, we're going to be the ones standing. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. It's
all he has to do is stare at an official, and he'll put the flag back. Like, I'm sorry.
Oh, man. I'll put it like this. I know for sure you can bank this one. He is going to get fined this season for tearing it into the NFL refs. I can guarantee you that. I'm telling you, he's gonna get fined some big. He probably needs to take that first check and go ahead and set aside a portion for his fines, because he go get some.
Oh God, I'm so looking forward to his press conferences. It was one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen. But he dropped some stuff in this press conference that I really liked.
He did.
He's like, I don't care what scheme you run it within your scheme, but I want my best player on their worst player. I want a matchup problem for that team. It's not that hard, right? Don't you think? Defensively too. It's like, it doesn't seem like it's rocket science. Anyway.
Yeah. And you know what though? And speaking of that, you know what I'm saying? One thing that really pissed me off yesterday, I'm about to say it, is that I go on Twitter and some knucklehead is talking about, well, the Lions basically hired Matt Patricia again.
Oh,
they cannot be more polar opposite. This guy's talking about making adjustments to get the best player on the worst player. Matt Patricia was one of those guys, the system's going to work. His system was the definition of insanity, where it was you do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Dan Campbell cannot be more different. And I saw a lot of Lions players on Instagram yesterday. They were fired up too. They were like, let's go. They had the big eyeballs looking at his presser. You got some guys that are really fired up about playing for Dan Campbell. I know they were talking about the Oklahoma drill. He's kind of explained that. He wasn't talking about the typical old school Oklahoma drill,
right?
Which is pretty violent.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know. I don't know if you could associate Dan Campbell with the with violence at all, but
man, yeah, man. If that's one thing, here's the deal with me. I think he wants to bring a tough, nasty,
I love that. That's
gritty,
the thing we've needed.
He wants to bring. He said the one quote. He said he wants to. The team. You come to Detroit, you're gonna leave beat up. He said not the tour. He said the tourists are welcome. We were talking about them. We were talking about the team. He said the teams are gonna leave Detroit beat up because
he said they ain't gonna want to come here.
They ain't gonna want to come back this thing. They're gonna get beat up in Ford Field by the
I don't
Lions.
know if he could do all he's saying that he could do. I'm not going to say he's the
every
best coach ever,
No,
but
you
this
can't
is
say
going to
that.
be the most entertaining 3, 4, 6 years that I've ever seen in my entire life.
It is going to be fiery. It's going to be
fun.
Something fun. It's just going to be something that us as excuse me.
You're going to have to take a drink every time he loses his mind on the sidelines.
Sorry about that. Yeah, but he is going to be one of those guys where that it's going to be fiery and competitive. I could just see him doing drills with the player. I mean, and so let's kind of get into some things, right? So I want to talk about some stuff that kind of happened in the media yesterday, and I know this is reports from ESPN. I know, and I'm taking it with a grain of salt, and we're reporting the news because this is kind of what we do here. We want you to all have all the facts. Now, there were some reports that came out on ESPN yesterday, especially from the Undefeated, where they were really they were coming down on the Lions. They were saying that they didn't really follow the Rooney rule, and which I couldn't agree with them less because of the fact that they hired a minority general manager, which they said, well, they hired a minority general manager, but you didn't give him control of the head coaching hire or the roster. But these
they did give him control of the roster, though.
Yeah, they were saying, well, he has this collective thing, but if you look at him and where he came from, that's the environment he came from. Les Snead and those guys out in LA, they had a collective or collaborative thing with their roster out there in LA as well. So why would you try to change a person from who he is? He's a guy who likes collaborative efforts. Yes. He's not a I can do it by myself type guy. So he wants to have a collaborative effort. He knows his strengths. He knows his weaknesses. He needs some help. Everyone, people think, GMs just do everything by themselves, and that's not the case all the time. So
and I think he was in on this too. I think they told him he was probably going to be the guy.
Yeah.
But I think he was also had his input too. I do believe that they gave him that too. I honestly don't see that. We just hired Aaron Glenn. I mean, we're doing really good with I think with the minority hiring and stuff. And I don't see a problem with Dan Campbell being the head coach.
I don't see it as well. It would be one thing if the Lions did not hire, and they've been one of the teams that has, if you even look back with, you're looking at Martin Mayhew and, some other people that, have the Lions have hired or had on staff.
Jim Caldwell.
So I don't think it's an issue with
Martin Mayhew.
Yeah. So I just don't see it. I think that they picked the right guy, the guy that they wanted.
I do too.
Now, if you would have told me the issue for me was the Matt Patricia hire. That was the one where it was just
that's the one that was kind of pushed through.
They would just kind of push it through, but this one was vetted and they did their due diligence the whole time. So those reports I just don't agree with myself. They were saying, well, a minority coach couldn't have how do I say this? Okay, that he couldn't have been the way that Dan Campbell was in the press conference where I
don't think there's very many coaches, white or black, that could have acted like
that. I don't. To be honest with you, I have to agree with you on that one. They were saying
he went
kind
so
of
overboard that I was
decorum.
God, it was so fun with that. It's so
But
much fun.
I would say this, and I'm gonna end this with this. I would say I'd rather Dan Campbell be himself than somebody he's not. And that's what I saw yesterday in that press conference. You saw Dan Campbell as who he is 100%. And I want that guy to lead my team than a guy like the former coach who preached all this stuff and wasn't that at all.
Exactly.
You know?
No, I mean, he was so far removed from being who he thinks he was. Maybe he did believe it, but it didn't show on the field for me. And so Patricia, and I don't like how he was hired either, because Bob Quinn basically said, yeah, this is the guy I want. Go and do your, interview other people just because of the Rooney rule, which I don't like that. I don't like making it a thing where, oh, we have to do this. So, that was Bob Quinn.
They checked Bob Quinn. They checked the block on that.
That's all they did.
They brought in Tara Austin. Oh, you're on the staff. So come on, let me interview you quick just to kind of kick the tires and but that was the hire that got pushed through. This one, they did their due diligence and they got the guy that they wanted for the team. It was never just a we just kind of checked the block, for this one. Right. So I'm gonna tell you this. I'm fired up. I got my jersey on today for Dan Campbell.
Campbell.
And what was so hilarious on Twitter, if you didn't see it, right? The social media people for the Lions, right? She photoshopped the dude on his placard outside of his office. I was like, that does not say that, but it looks so good and perfect. You thought it was the actual
the real thing.
I mean, big shout out to her, man. She did it big, man. That was awesome.
I typically, as a Lions fan, I'm jaded because I have 40 some years of experience, and I know that everything they do is usually wrong. Mm-hmm. Just have the right feeling about this, and I'm so scared of having that feeling. To be honest,
it's
more comfortable to be the same old Lions because we know what that is.
Yep,
this doesn't feel like that, and you know what? There's a lot of us that said that with Quinn and Patricia, bringing in people from New England that knew what they were doing, that he knows how to scout, and his draft is going to be better. We said all this, okay? So I'm not trying to put it in. I know I'm drinking Kool-Aid, right? But I'm happy.
Yeah, the Campbell soup Kool-Aid.
Yes, the Campbell soup Kool-Aid.
The Campbell soup Kool-Aid.
I am all in. I'm 100% in. And who couldn't be with this guy? Who couldn't like this guy?
I'm telling you, it's one of those things where, he fired up.
He pretty much me of Bill Tower.
Yes, he's from that cloth. He's from that cloth. He's cut from that, that Bill Parcells, that cloth, So, and people will say, oh, well, Belichick was from that cloth. Nah, Bill Belichick had his own thing. He can't, he had ties to Belichick, but he was coaching well before he was under Belichick. Under Parcells. You get this fiery guy who knows what he wants. He knows how to get what he wants, and he's not afraid he's not afraid to tell you what he wants. He's not afraid to tell you that, okay, this guy may be good on paper, but he's trash.
Yeah, he said, I'm not afraid of confrontation.
Yeah,
one of the best quotes of the whole thing to me.
Yes, you can see that.
If I'm not getting, and I think Brad Holmes, because his press conference went kind of a little different than Dan Campbell's did. But I don't take away from that guy knowing what he's doing, because he does know what he's doing. If he even hits on half of what he hit on in the Rams, and then with Dan Campbell being the motivator, and then you got Aaron Glenn as defensive coordinator, I don't know why this feels like it's going to work to me, but it does.
It does. It does. And one more thing before we kind of close this. It's hard to close this thing out because there's just so much to talk about.
So much.
One thing that he said up front, that he is not excited about the defense. Who says that in
did.
an introductory press conference? He said, I'll tell you right now, I'm more excited about what we have on the offense than we are the defense. Okay. Tell me how you really feel, bro.
He basically said what most of the Lions fans feel. Doesn't he feel like a fan to you in a way?
Yes, he feels, like he's
on that level.
Yeah, I mean, like, he likes the Detroit area. He said that this was one of the best places he lived while he played in the league. His family loved it, his kids loved it. So,
and he signed a 6-year deal, which tells me he wants to stay here.
He wants to stay. He wants to.
I love the quote about him putting another name down, another Campbell.
He said the reason I got the job because Matt Campbell.
Matt Campbell down.
I was like, what?
That was hilarious.
The guy was so. And I pray and I hope that it's not just being entertaining. I hope it translates to.
Well, when Jeremy Reisman, he interviewed somebody from Miami, and a beat writer from down there, and they said that he was just such a breath of fresh air, but they really felt like he was turning the corner with the team, and they wanted him to stay down there. So so it was hard to move on or whatever, as it is for us.
Yeah, it is. It is hard to move on from us. And just one last thing that he said that really got me is that he's self-aware. He knew he wasn't ready to be the head coach down in Miami. He knew he wasn't ready. He knew he needed some more seasoning.
And he said that,
that's that type of honesty,
right?
And transparency that we as the Lions fan base had missed for
not
all
like
those
Matt
years.
Patricia, it's always someone else's fault.
And it was so tight-lipped. I love the way he's
I
honest.
think if he makes a mistake and
he's
gonna it cost us the game, he's just gonna say, "Man, I blew it. It just was all me, man."
Yep.
Or if it's, but I'm curious to see what happens when we get a ref special, or when we get some call against us that is so insane, because it's going to happen.
It's going to be 100,000.
I bet you he gets fined, because I don't think he's going to hold back.
It's going to be 100,000. I'm telling you. It's going to be.
I don't think it's in his nature to hold back. Okay, we got to get to these comment cards before the end of the show gets here, before we do.
Yeah.
All right, Neil Feldposh. Can't wait to hear you guys take on the presser we just did. And Aaron Gled official. We just did. Take care, guys. Another great listen. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate you.
Hey, we appreciate it, Neil. We gave you everything you asked for right up front. All right, next we got Robert Marlowe. What up, Rob? He says, I see the Lions going 7-9 again this year, maybe 8-8. Maybe the defense is too bad. There isn't enough good free agents out there. I don't know about that one to even come to Detroit. As most of the players they have on the D now are way overrated.
I agree with that.
We agree with that 100%. But don't worry, they will make the playoffs in 2 or 3 years again as a wildcard team. Watch and see. Yeah, you know what, though? That last thing I agree with. The free agents that's out there, I put it like this. I think Dan Campbell kind of sold it to some free agents yesterday.
I think so, too. And I think there's one in particular, that safety out from the Rams. If they don't re-sign him, you look at the Lions citing him. I think the Lions get him.
Yeah, I think so, too.
One thing about this is the Lions are going 7-9 again. What do you mean again?
When do we go
7-9 in like 4 years or something?
Yeah, what you talking about, man?
I don't know. I think we went 5-11 if my memory is right.
We went 5-11. We've had 3 totally bad seasons.
You know what? The Detroit Pistons had 2 picks, right? Because the NBA is so much different. I know this is a terrible comparison, but when they turned that all around, they ended up with 4 first-round picks. They ended up trading all kinds of people away. They ended up doing all kinds of stuff. Now, will it work or won't it work? I don't know. But I think there's going to be some attempts at trades for some very big players. This is Holmes' way, and I think you're going to see some changes, and I think it can turn around a lot faster than what people think. One thing Dan Campbell said that I liked, he said the Packers are top right now, and they're a great team, but that's our goal. That's our first goal, is to win the division. I haven't heard that, but that's logical. Win your division.
Patricia came in and said, well, it's gonna take 2 or 3 years to kind of get things right.
Yeah,
Dude, who wants to hear that?
no one.
Coming the door. Who's up next, Jim?
Adrian Mendoza. Sorry, if Stafford stays, I can see them going 7-9 or 8-8. But without Stafford, we may be looking at another top 5 draft pick in 2022. I don't care. I don't care. Give this guy all the draft picks he can to build the team the way he needs it to be built. Give Campbell and him a couple of years, and then we'll see what's going on.
Yeah, for real. All right. King SJ said, watching Coach Campbell's conference made me want to wipe the dust off my old shoulder pads and get back on the line, offense or defense. You know what, King SJ? You know what, though? Here he is, man. And if you don't know who Tori Petrie is the multimedia journalist. She does excellent work over there on DetroitLions.com.
Yes.
She posted a picture. Now, she did play a couple of years for the Detroit Dark Angels, the women's football team, full contact pads, everything, for a couple of years when she first got to Detroit. And she posted her picture of her in her uniform on Twitter. She said after the press conference, she wanted to strap it up again. She had that feeling. She was fired up and ready to get back on the field. I heard that from plenty of people. I did a Die Hard Den podcast last night with my man, Michael Jones. He said he was ready to dust his shoulder pads off as well and get out on the field, and his partner over there, Ali from OMG, he said he wanted to get his cleats and go ahead and get back out there. So that's what we have right now. We have that energized fan base and motivation from our fan base, from our head coach.
Yes, for real. Big Frank 311. Darrell Bevell to be hired by the Jags as the Jags OC. Yes, that's in the news and rumors. And Mark Mayhew, former Lions GM, is going to be hired to the GM for the Washington football team. That is not in our news and rumors, but that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those Darrell Bevell, we had a thing on him that we thought he might be the offensive coordinator in waiting because we just hadn't heard anything about him. But I guess he's gone. He gone.
All right. Last one. Leonard McCullough vlog says, I would say if anything, 6 year gives him time to trial Stafford over 2 years and make a decision on whether to move on or not. And then if we move on, he has 4 years to build without him. That's an interesting take. I don't know how to unpack this. I don't know how to unpack this. Okay, he says a trial for Stafford over 2 years and make a decision. I mean, I get what you're saying. I think Stafford has a lot of, I'm wearing my Stafford jersey today. I think Stafford has a lot of stuff, left in the tank. And bringing somebody in like Dan Campbell is definitely going to re-energize him.
Oh, you don't think that Stafford's going to be just busting out at the seams to play for this dude?
Yeah.
They are the same person, although Matthew Stafford's not as vocal.
Yeah. And people I don't understand why people don't think Matthew Stafford is fiery. Matthew Stafford is fiery. Have you seen him cuss out his receivers for not getting out of bounds? I mean, Matthew Stafford, I don't know who you're watching on the field when you see Matthew Stafford, but he's fiery.
This team is a defense and running game away from being a contender. And you don't have to take Matthew Stafford out to do that. You have to add to this team. You have to add a defense, and you have to have the running game. And yes, at the same time, I know it's really hard for people to understand.
Yes, but and you look at the teams in the playoffs right now. All of those guys, you have 4 of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now.
Yep, and they're all old too.
They're all except for the two young guys in the AFC.
Right.
You got the 225. The AFC, the NFC guys. Yeah, the NFC guys. But look at the teams they have. They have a solid running game and they have a good defense.
Yep. And Stafford hasn't had both his entire career.
Not at the same time.
If he gets that, Matthew Stafford is definitely capable of leading us to a Super Bowl. Yep. Definitely capable.
Yep.
You want a game manager that can throw the ball down the field and has a deep threat arm and can make plays from any position of the arm angle. I mean, there's so many things he brings to the table that I just don't understand this. Let's get rid of him. We've never won with him. Set him, because you wouldn't run with him because you haven't won with him because you've had incompetent general managers, you've had incompetent coaches, you've had just terrible running game, terrible 5 years without a 100-yard rusher. Just should say it all, but I guess it's just too hard to understand.
Definitely.
So, what do we got? We got one more, or are we done?
No, that was it. That was the last one.
We're going to news and rumors.
Okay,
the Detroit Lions news and rumors. The reports are Darrell Bevell expected to be the next Jaguars offensive coordinator. Good luck to him. I didn't really have anything bad to say about Bev. I didn't like the way he handled the special teams coordinator thing, but other than that, I like the guy. So that's it about that.
I will see, I say that, I see that, he's not going down there under Urban Meyer to be the offensive coordinator. I believe he can be a head coach one day. I do believe he can be a head coach one day. I think he's going to go down there and kind of really open up that offense down there in Jacksonville. They've been missing that the last couple of years. Yeah. All right. Next up, Detroit Lions interviewing Ike Hilliard for offensive coordinator job. 4 candidates have emerged for the vacant OC position in Detroit. Those guys are Ike Hilliard, Ken Dorsey, the former quarterback, James Urban, and the former head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers, Anthony Lynn. So looking at these guys, and not saying that the young guys can't get it done or anything like that, but I'm liking the Anthony Lynn thing. 1, because he has experience as a head coach, and 2, he is focused on the run game. So that would be, one of the guys that I would look at.
Yep, that sounds good. ESPN awards Dan Campbell, the Dan Campbell hire, an average grade. And why wouldn't they? ESPN loves to crap all over our team as much as they can.
I mean, the Lions don't give, it's outside of pretty much our local media, we don't get any have a positive marks outside of the guys that we have in the Motor City as well.
But it's a prove it thing. I mean, we're not there.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we haven't been there, and we've done really stupid things over the years. So we got to prove it to them before they're going to accept us.
That's very true. I mean, it's like Missouri, you know what I'm saying? The show me state. All right. And the last one, the report is the Lions offensive line coach Hank Fraley interviews with the Steelers. Oh my goodness, that's the guy. You know what though? I think
that'd be a big loss
perfectly with Dan Campbell. I like Hank Fraley.
I do too,
and I like the job he did with the offensive and at times a makeshift offensive line.
Yes,
I
don't think there's going to be any more rotating offensive linemen.
Yeah,
I think that's done now.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know what that was about. But hey, that's our news and rumors for the day. What you got for the question of the day, Jim?
The question of the day is, who do you want as the next OC, offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions? Who do you want? There's 4 people so far candidates, or maybe you got somebody off the radar that we're not seeing right now. Who do you want as the next offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions? Okay, and now we're going to go to my favorite segment of the whole show, my dessert with Kurt.
Well, the dessert with Kurt today is a personal thing for myself. I am happy to announce that, again, the Die Hard Dan podcast is now presented by Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Last night, first show. Go over there and check us out. Our show will be posted on the bellyupsports.com website under the Detroit Lions on the Prowl umbrella. I'm thankful for Jim for having me and Shawnee come under the umbrella of the Detroit Lions on the Prowl. We really appreciate it. And it was a joy for us to join the team as a collective. So it's two companies in one. Die Hard Dan, Detroit Lions on the Prowl. All that good Lions content is right there. And we had our first ever episode under the umbrella last night, and it was a joy. And Shawnee couldn't be with me last night, but Mike Jones filled in from OMG, and we had a blast. So go over there and check it out. That's our dessert right there. You know, it's just a blessing to have the Detroit Lions on the Prowl present the Die Hard Den podcast.
Yeah, and also go to see them on their YouTube channel as well. They have their own YouTube channel, the Die Hard Den podcast. You have to go check that out. They got it's not the same show as ours. It's different, and it gives you a different viewpoint, and it's a different vibe. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. So it's a really good show. You need to go check that out, and as soon as you can, or as soon as you're done with this premiere, then go over there and go to the Die Hard Den, and then look at that, or later in the day. I think it might be later in the day.
A little
But
later in the day.
everybody else out there, wow, we're going through so many different changes and so many things are happening, but we really appreciate you guys rocking with us and supporting us. And if you want to support us, you go to the description and you can see underneath there all those deals for Skull Candy. We do get a commission off of that, so it does help the show and to bring you a better show, hopefully coming up in the near future. All right, and so with all of that being said, let's close the show out today with my man Kurt.
All right. You know who we are, people. We are Detroit Lions on the Prowl. Your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors. And you can join us weekdays right here, Monday through Fridays, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our premieres of our show. You can join the chat right there with us, or you can get your comments right up front with a super chat. And if you haven't done so already, join the family. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comment on the videos, and share the videos. All of this helps us get this content to more Lions fans just like yourself. And head over to bellyupsports.com for all your sports needs. You find a myriad of podcasts on different topics. You know, if you like some of that Barstool type vibe, you got that over there. If you like our vibe, you got some more shows like over there as well. And big shout out to my man Michael Neal. His show is on the podcast network. It's called the Light Brothers Podcast, and you can get pop culture, news, food reviews, all of that right there on that show, the Light Brothers Podcast with my man Michael Neal Jr. Go over there and check it out. And we will be bumping some other podcasts right here, so you can go over there and check it out over there on bellyup.com. So it's time to get out of here. But one thing you need to do for us every day, and especially today, whatever you do in life, you got to boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man Jim, right here on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, this is Kurt Steele, and I will holler at you real soon.